What? Oh my gosh. Farm down completely here. Have that energy ready for the Dialga, so shielding there makes sense now. But they lose CMP tie here. Is this Iron Head gonna KO? Is this gonna waste all the energy? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP, so please consider subscribing to the channel if that is of interest to you. And if you're a returning subscriber, like please that, thank you for the support. In today's video, we are taking a look at another shoutcast for the Master League Classic, this time featuring a triple dragon team submitted by one of our subscribers, Xauxa, Xauxa. I actually don't know how to pronounce the name. I believe he is from the Netherlands, so it may be a Dutch name. Probably gonna go with double X for the purpose of this video since there's two X's in the name. But yes, don't know how to pronounce this. But the team featuring a very unique pick. You might have already seen it, Zekrom. Don't see this too often in the Master League Classic, so I am very excited to cover this. First thing that comes to mind probably is this team's very weak to Togekiss. Doesn't really have a hard counter for Dialga either, and Dialga being the main threat in Open Master League, but did do very well. This actually got above 3,300 MMR running this team, so clearly it did work for him. So we're going to take a look at a bunch of these battles, and I am very excited to see what kind of wins he manages to pull out with this team. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please make sure you smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Let's jump into the first battle right here, going against Mengtianrui. In match number 1, we got Zekrom lead into a Melmetal, so this is a somewhat neutral lead. Of course, Zekrom here is going to lose in the 2 shields if the Melmetal wants to go that route, mostly because these wild charges are going to lower the defense on the Zekrom. So Rock Slide comes through, gonna let that through, and building up for close to 2 wild charges before throwing here. Actually gonna build up for 2 wild charges and then try to throw back to back, just so that this damage is being thrown before his own defense is being lowered. And now you can see the opponent switches out into their own Zekrom, and look at this, he's running Outrage. There's no crunch here. Is the opponent gonna let this go through? Boom! One shot. That Zekrom literally came out as a sacrifice to the Master League gods, and Zekrom already off to a very hot start. You might have noticed he's not running crunch on his Zekrom, he's running Outrage and Wild Charge. So the opponent may have put him on a crunch Wild Charge moveset, maybe wasn't expecting the Outrage, and there it is. One shot. This game is basically already over because we got Dialga in the back for this Dragonite. This is pretty much GG's at this point. I guess the opponent's going to look to farm down here, and maybe if they're running Draco Meteor on the Dragonite and it goes unshielded, they could win, but the shield comes up, so let's see what they're going to throw. It is an Outrage actually, so Outrage would have actually hurt still, but the opponent decides to back out after seeing that shield come up, and off to a very nice start here, showcasing Zekrom in a really nice way there. EhJayBTW in the second match, and we got Zekrom lead into a Dragonite. So Dragonite will actually win this match, mostly because it outpaces 2 Dragon Claws, so he's going to switch out into Dialga, get met by the Melmetal here, so of course not a great situation to be in. And still waiting for this Melmetal to throw first, hoping that it throws a superpower to lower its defense. But remember, the Dialga actually did not click on the Draco Meteor here, and that was really weird because this second move looks like it actually came through without even giving the option for the Dialga to throw there. That was really weird actually. Was it like a delayed CMP or something? I don't even know what happened there. That was super weird. But fortunately, did get off that Draco Meteor. Could have actually chose the shield here when switch, but remember, this team, no real reason to win switch because all these Pokemon basically share the same weakness. So that's the one thing about this team. Switch isn't too important, and you're going to see here, he's going to shield up this likely Dragon Claw, and I guess maybe look to farm down, or is he going to throw a move? He is going to try for the farm down. Unfortunately, this Dragonite is going to get to another move, so it's going to get the second shield. Has a bunch of energy though, but is very low in health. So let's see what comes out now in the back. It is a Mewtwo, so going to throw a Wild Charge here. I'd imagine switch out immediately at this point into the Giratina Origin. And of course, being down a shield, Mewtwo's going to have a pretty good matchup here. Let's see if this Mewtwo's running Shadow Ball. Even if it is a Shadow Ball, it's not going to KO from this range. We'll leave the Giratina with slightly little health, but it's not a Shadow Ball, so that means it is running Focus Blast. Going to go here for what looks like the ominous win. Does pick up the final shield. and this Mewtwo is going to have to throw energy once again. That Zekrom should have or be very close to a wild charge here. Can it get to it before this Mewtwo is able to farm down? Yes, it is, gets to the wild charge. This is surely going to be enough to knock out the Mewtwo, and Zekrom is going to pick up yet another win here. Quite the showcase so far by Zekrom. I've never actually used it before, but it looks like a very interesting pick. We got A4 Caesar here in the next matchup. Interesting thing about Zekrom actually is that it has the same stat product as Dialga. It's just a different typing, right? Dialga with that steel typing makes it really good. And speaking of Dialga, we see it here in the lead. You can see the main counter is our own Dialga, so that's what we bring out. And a Togekiss comes in. So gonna go for the Iron Head. Here you would like to get 2 Iron Heads, of course, to apply a lot of pressure to this Togekiss. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a shield come up from the Dialga's end. This Togekiss is going to get to a move right here. Here is the shield, guaranteeing that they will get to this Iron Head right here, shield up the Ancient Power, and Iron Head is going to be enough to knock out the Togekiss if it chooses not to shield. And it did not shield, actually. To be honest, I was actually expecting the shield to come up there, but Togekiss didn't shield. So Dialga comes in. Dialga is still a problem for this team, of course. Both of these Pokemon lose to Dialga, so it comes with the Giratina Origin here. Going to look to land a Shadow Ball. Is this going to get the shield? Of course, this is not going to knock out the Dialga, but it's going to apply a lot of pressure. Shield does come up. Dialga switches out now into their own Giratina, so here comes Zekrom. This isn't the worst situation to be in. The main issue is that they do not have Crunch, so gonna have to, well, they called a move there. Shadow Ball wouldn't have KO'd anyway, so it's a fine situation to be in. Gonna have to go for the Outrage. If this is a Shadow Ball, it would KO, but it's probably gonna be an Omnis Win. Gonna shield up anyways. It is an Omnis Win. They're probably looking to farm down completely here, have that energy ready for the Dialga, so shielding there makes sense now, but they lose CMP tie here. Is this Iron Head gonna KO? Is this gonna waste all the energy? Barely survives the Iron Head there being resisted. Outrage gonna come through. Will this be enough to knock out the Dialga? Yes, it is. Zekrom wins another game in the back. So Zekrom is really putting on a show here. I'm saying it after every match, but it's literally happening. DanielAragoon here in the next match. We got Zekrom, it's Togekiss. So here is the lead you do not want to see with a triple dragon team. Coming with Dialga, and the opponent's going to bring in their own. And again, this is a situation where winning Switch isn't necessarily the greatest thing because neither of your Pokemon really win against Togekiss. But if you were able to actually get shields from the opponent, then it wouldn't be too bad, because if you could land like a wild charge on that Togekiss, you could pretty much win that in 0 shields, right? So let's see how this plays out. The opponent is choosing to give up Switch here, so they're going to come in with the Togekiss, farm down this Dialga, but another Iron Head is ready, so this is going to get a shield from the opposing Togekiss for sure. Yes, it does, and they're going to farm down with Charm. And now, pretty tricky spot. Going to choose to come with Giratina Origin here, actually. Shadow Ball, of course, does really hurt. Little bit of lag here, going to get to the Shadow Ball here. Togekiss gonna let this go through most likely, I'd imagine, or will they shield? They are gonna let it go through and they swap out into Dragonite. So here comes Zekrom. Again, not the best situation because Dragonite is outpacing to Dragon Claw here, so a shield does come up. Going to build up here, go for the Wild Charge just before the Dragonite gets to another move. Wild Charge would be enough to knock out the Dragonite here, so they do burn the shield. And now because the defense drops, the opponent probably could have farmed down there, but they're going to got that Dragon Claw. And will Giratina be able to get to a move? No. Gets farmed down, and the opponent's going to take that in. Very hard to come back from a Togekiss lead with this team, of course, so can't really expect to win those kinds of matches all the time when you face a Togekiss in the lead. We've got Zekrom into Dialga once again. Another lead that is quite tricky to play out of, so going to switch into Dialga. You can see Dialga pretty much operating as a safe switch here. We see a Groudon come in. Now Groudon is a pretty good counter for Dialga. It's not the hardest counter because of course it has to shield up these Iron Heads still, and these Dragon Breaths do a lot of damage, as you could see, to the Groudon. So gonna let this move go through. If it's an Earthquake, it's gonna take out Dialga. It is. So Dialga goes down. At this point could come in with Zekrom or Giratina, to be honest. Zekrom would be more of a farm down play, I'd imagine, so they do come into Zekrom. Don't expect them to throw any energy here, so most likely shield this up and commit to the Dragon Breath farm down here with the Zekrom, and then have a move ready for whatever comes in. Most likely going to be the Dialga. Opponent looked like they were probably going for another Earthquake there, so no Fire Punch came through. Dialga comes in. Let's see if they shield this up, because a lot of people don't expect the Outrage, right? We've already seen that in this video. Boom! Outrage doing a lot of damage, but it does not KO. But look at how well Dialga gets. Switches out into Giratina. Are they going to throw the Outrage here? This is going to force another shield. Zekrom is going absolutely ham here in the trenches. Gonna switch out into their own Giratina now. They have the shield advantage, so basically just have to shield this up at this point. And looks like they're going to be in a winning position here. That Dialga is very low. Does it have a move though is the question. Shadow Ball is going to KO here. That Dialga at most probably has an Iron Head, which will not be enough to knock out the Giratina from this range. So one Shadow Claw is enough to take it out. Another solid game. Look at this. We got a Compass. This is a GBL first. Checking out the Compass after a match. So this is the first player in GBL history to be outside camping in the outdoors while doing their GBL sets. Zekrom into Giratina Origin right here. And this is a good matchup for Zekrom actually. So you can see Dragon Breath's doing so much. Shield is up. Hopefully it's a Shadow Ball when you call this. Yes, it is. Omnis Wind would be a little bit unfortunate, but look at this. Actually looking like they're going for the farm down. So this is going to be most likely 2 shields. At this point, this actually should just be an Omnis Wind, I believe. It is, but they're going to shield up anyways. Commit to the farm down, have 100 energy, but they're down 2 shields now. So not the best situation. Dialga is going to come in. Are they going to let another Outrage go through here? They do. Wow, what is going on? Switch on to Dialga. We see a Melmetal come in. I do not know how they're going to come back from this game being down 2 shields. This Melmetal really does not have to shield anything. But at the same time, they have to start using their shields at some point, right? So Superpower comes through. Gonna throw the Iron Head here. Didn't quite get to a Draco Meteor, but could be a Thunder as well. Opponent is going to decide to shield that. And I expect this Melmetal to build up a bunch of energy before throwing again. Let's see if they go for the Superpower here. Would knock out the Dialga. They do, so that's going to take out Dialga, and we are going to see the Giratina Origin come in. So this is actually not a bad situation. This Melmetal is also debuffed, so these Rock Slides aren't going to be doing anywhere near as much as they normally would. And you can see Giratina taking that very well. So I would expect Giratina to farm up a lot of energy here. Have a move ready to throw at that Dialga when it switches in. Actually going to switch out into the Zekrom here, farming up, throwing the Wild Charge. Will this get the final shield from the Dialga? They're probably trying to build up for a Draco Meteor or something. Oof, this is going to be tight. Can they come in? They farm down before they get off a move. This looks like a opponent. That is a back out right there. That is a very frustrating way to lose a game. So don't blame the opponent for leaving there. Don't blame the opponent for leaving there. They might have even had a move ready on Dialga. Tomaddin here in the next matchup. We got a Ho-Oh lead. So look at these Incinerates. Not doing anything. Look at that Dragon Breath. Doing a lot. Gonna go for the Wild Charge. This is going to absolutely destroy this Ho-Oh. Does get the shield. Ho-Oh gonna throw the, maybe go for the Earthquake here. Maybe go for the Brave Bird. I guess at this point, this is a really good matchup for Zekrom in general. Goes for the Brave Bird. That's gonna lower the defense. Ho-Oh is staying in here, so they're gonna go for a second move. Expect the second shield to probably come up here. Is it another Brave Bird? It is. Still gonna hurt a lot, so going to farm down completely here. Did get 1 shield at least from the Ho-Oh as well, so Dialga comes in the end. Again, we're seeing an Outrage onto Dialga. Is this going to get the shield? Somebody finally shielded the Outrage, and we see the Dialga come in. This is a mirror match. This is not good though. The opponent is ahead on energy. They're throwing an Iron Head here. I think the opponent should have definitely went for a Draco Meteor here. Is this Draco? No, it's an Iron Head. I think the opponent could have definitely gotten to a Draco. Even if they would have got hit by this Iron Head first probably, but they could have definitely made the Draco Meteor, got rid of this Dialga. Instead, they're going to come with Giratina here. Look to farm down, which they are able to do. So props to the opponent there. Managed to get out of that situation very well. Let's see what's going to come in here. It is a Giratina. Behind on energy here. Going to get hit by a Shadow Ball. This will not KO, so should at least get to an Omnis Wind at the very least here. Yes, they are. This is also not going to KO the opposing Giratina, and I believe the opponent's Giratina should be able to farm down first. Oh, but there's the boost. That's going to flip, but that's going to force the opponent to have to throw energy here. Opponent actually played this game very well, and yes, Zekrom comes in. The Dialga is still there. It's too low in health. And Zekrom farms down, takes that game. GG's. Very well played. Big win right there. Okukichi 0102 in the next matchup, and we got Zekrom absolutely destroying people. Oh, look at this. A Zekrom mirror match. So first time seeing this. I believe in this situation, maybe having Crunch will benefit the Zekrom in this match. So I'm going to show up the first move here. Let's see what it is. Probably going to be a Crunch. Yes, it is. And remember, there's no crunch on this side, so will they go for the wild charge? If they do, gonna lower their own defense, so we might see a swap out happen right after this. Into Dialga, I'd imagine. Oh no, into Giratina. Okay, so Giratina comes in, and this Zekrom going to throw a move here. Probably gonna be a crunch, which is going to hurt, so definitely have to shield this up. I guess they're probably running wild charge and crunch, so here comes the opponent's Dialga. And we're definitely going to see a Shadow Ball come through here. Will the opponent shield? If the opponent tries going for a Dragon Breath farm down, of course, that means that they're going to get to a second Shadow Ball here, which is the case. So this Shadow Ball is going to put this Dialga low, but it's not going to threaten it to knock out, of course. Gets farmed down, so this Dialga has a lot of energy. You need to wait out the whole switch timer here and try to catch the Draco Meteor that's coming onto the Dialga. Look at that, they're like, oh my gosh. Oh, they were like 1 second too early. They switched in with like 2 seconds left on the clock. If they waited out the clock entirely, they would have definitely have caught that Draco Meteor onto the Zekrom, which could have given them a win condition. Swapped in a bit too early there, but either way, GG's. Saw what the idea was, of course. They wanted to catch the Draco Meteor, just didn't happen to work out there. Zekrom into Giratina Alter. This time we see Dialga safe swap, so Dialga comes in. When there's no hard counter, you have to come in with your own Dialga. Going to go for this Iron Head before the opponent throws here. Let's see what the opponent tries to do. Are they going to try and build up for the Draco Meteor? They definitely did build up a lot of energy, so the shield is going to come up here. And they go for the Iron Head as well, so they did bait. But this should be a pretty even match. This is such a weird match. Look at, wow. I think the opponent came in first with their Dialga. And then, I didn't see the CP on that opponent's Dialga, but I assume that they were both best buddies. Either way, win switch advantage here. Going to throw the Iron Head at the opponent's Giratina, which is going to farm down. Expect Zekrom to come back in here. Dragon Breath hurts, but these Dragon Claws that are going to be coming from the Giratina at a very rapid pace are also going to be applying a lot of pressure. Opponent switch down to Togekiss. This is the last thing you want to see here. Going to throw the Wild Charge. This is definitely going to get the shield, and then Giratina going to come in. Now this match isn't over yet. It's a very tough spot, but it still has a chance to win, especially because there is a shield. So we're gonna let this go through here and then throw the Shadow Ball. It's only an ancient power, no boost. So Shadow Ball is going to put this Togekiss very low. Can they get to the Omnis Win or farm down with Shadow Claw first? It's gonna be very tight right here. They're gonna get to the Shadow or to the Omnis Win. This is going to be enough to knock out the Togekiss. And let's see, the opponent going to come back in with the Giratina Altered here. Does still have this shield, very low in health. Are they going to get to the... Oh, look, what? Oh my gosh, they farmed down that Giratina Altered there. Okay, so... The last thing I expected there was that Giratina Altered to lose the Dragon Breath farm down, given its health advantage. I really thought that this was going to come down to reaching the Wild Charge or not. But Zekrom actually won by farming down the Giratina, so was not expecting that. Very impressive. Once again, Zekrom putting in work. As I catch up to this battle here, we see Dragonite on Dialga. This is a very positive matchup to be in, as the Dialga, of course. So looks like they're going to farm up just before throwing this Iron Head. Very good timing right there to throw this before the opponent got to another Dragon Claw. Maintain switch advantage, and the opponent's Dialga comes out. So gonna come in here with the Zekrom. And Zekrom probably going to go for the Wild Charge here, I'd imagine, at this point. Gonna shield up, actually, so let's see what they choose to do here. Catching that Iron Head. Are they gonna go for the Outrage or the Wild Charge? Opponent switches out into Melmetal, so probably gonna throw one Wild Charge here and then switch out into the Giratina Origin, which is going to have a very good matchup against the Melmetal. So this is a good spot to be in now. Melmetal going to be throwing these Rock Slides, but the Giratina in a pretty good position here. Now that Dialga in the back might have energy, so we have to be a little bit afraid of that. So let's see how this plays out. I expect to throw one Shadow Ball here at the very least, and then depending on where this puts the Melmetal's health at, we'll go from there. So can't really farm down here. I think 2 Rock Slides will KO, so gonna have to throw at least one more move here. Imagine the switch timer is also coming up at some point, so the opponent might try to switch out. They do. Gonna catch this Omnis Wind onto the Dialga here. This is not going to KO. Gonna get the shield, actually. Can they get to this Wild Charge? They are able to get to the Wild Charge here. This is going to knock out the Dialga. And now where's this Melmetal at? Okay, so Melmetal comes in. Giratina very low in health. Thundershock not going to KO. Gets to the Omnis Wind. This is going to be enough. to take this game. So a lot of these games coming down to the wire right here. Very clutch performance right there, and a solid victory once again. Let's jump into the next battle. SATA 5N. These are some very exciting battles here. We got a Snorlax into a Zekrom. Get the weak connection right there. You hate to see it. Zekrom versus Snorlax, this is a pretty neutral matchup in general. I guess if Snorlax during Earthquake could one-shot possibly, and they did build up a lot of energy, so let's see here. Most of them aren't running Earthquake. Oh, it is an Earthquake, look at that. So a great shield right there. And now going to go for the Wild Charge. I'd imagine Wild Charge will KO from this range. So let's see if the Snorlax chooses to shield. They let it go through. So Dialga, or Zekrom I should say, Wind Switch. Excadrill comes in, you hate to see it. Oh man. I think this is the one situation where I actually would stay in with the Zekrom and maintain switch, because you have to understand that the Dialga and the Zekrom are both going to have very bad matchups against Excadrill. Your only chance of really winning is having Giratina Origin aligned onto the Excadrill, unless they have two things weak to Giratina in the back. So I think you kind of just have to sack the Zekrom there, maintain the alignment, have Giratina on the Excadrill, and then have Dialga hopefully on something that is weak to it in the back. In this case, it would be Dragonite, which would actually be very good for Dialga. So I think staying in there with the Zekrom probably makes the most sense. I know that it makes sense to switch out of that matchup a lot of times and just save the energy, but in this case with Zekrom and Dialga both being weak to Excadrill, I think it was very important to keep the alignment there with the Excadrill on Giratina Origin. So see the Dragon Claw come through here. I mean, this game isn't over yet, but it's a really uphill battle. Excadrill gonna throw the Drill Run here, going to get the shield. At this point, I imagine they're gonna throw the Iron Head, then probably try to catch the move on the Zekrom, or maybe let the Dialga go down and hope the Zekrom gets to a move. I mean, either way, it's gonna be rough because this Excadrill charges up energy so quickly. You can see right here, even though Dragon Breath hurts, Excadrill is very, very spammy. Here comes a Drill Run, one shots the Zekrom. You can see it already has another Drill Run, right? So really nothing you could do in this situation. Very difficult to play against the Excadrill, of course, does well against the whole team, or at least two of the Pokemon. And as you can see, after these battles, did manage to jump into the 3300s MMR, which is very impressive. Huge congratulations to you. So those were the battles with the Triple Dragon team featuring Zekrom. Very interesting pick, and as you saw, it put in a lot of work, winning a lot of matches. That outrage damage is insane. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.